The delimitation offensive by the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Even as the language and delimitation issues played out in Parliament, the DMK today dispatched delegations led by senior ministers to invite chief ministers of neighbouring southern states to attend a joint meeting on the 22nd of March to forge a united front on the issue. DMK Minister Ponmudi met with Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in Bengaluru, and another delegation went to meet the political leadership in Andhra Pradesh. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udayanithi Stalin was the latest in the list of southern political leaders asking newly married couples to have children immediately to increase the population to negate the impact of delimitation. His father, CM Chief Minister MK Stalin, had already made a similar dig on that issue.
எனவே மணமக்களுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு வேண்டுகோள், பிறக்க போவது உடனே குழந்தை பெற்றுக்கோங்க, நிறைய பெற்றுக்காதீங்க. ஒன்றிய அரசு குடும்ப கட்டுப்பாடை வலியுறுத்தி ஜனத்தொகை அதிகமாக இருக்கு, அதனால கட்டுப்படுத்தணும்னு சொல்லுது ஒன்றிய அரசு. அதை வெற்றிகரமா செஞ்சு கொடுத்தது தமிழ்நாடு. அதற்காக இப்ப நம்ம தண்டிக்கப்படுறோம். இந்த டீலிமிட்டேஷன் மட்டும் வந்துருச்சுன்னா 8 தொகுதி கம்மியாகி 31 தொகுதி ஆயிடும். ஆனா இந்த குடும்ப கட்டுப்பாடு சரியா பண்ணாத, சரியான மக்கள்கிட்ட சரியான விழிப்புணர்வு ஏற்படுத்தாத மாநிலங்கள் இதனால பெனிஃபிட் அடைய போறாங்க. வட மாநிலங்கள் இருக்கக்கூடிய வட மாநிலங்கள்லாம் 100 தொகுதி வரைக்கும் இதனால பெறப்போகுது.
Proposal has been there that they are going to reduce number of seats in the southern part of this country. So I am very happy that Mr. Stalin, being the chief minister and a senior leader from the south, have decided to call a meeting and form a joint action committee to fight against this. We have to fight for our rights. So officially they came and invited me and the Honorable Chief Minister. So whatever High Command decides, because our party also have to take a call on this.
So will the delimitation offensive reap benefits for the DMK in the electoral fields of Tamil Nadu, and also cutting beneath the political noise? What are the realities in terms of the political equations in Tamil Nadu as well playing out because of these issues? Joining me this evening, two veteran political observers from Tamil Nadu, senior journalist R.K. Radhakrishnan and political analyst Dr. Sumant C. Raman. R.K. Radhakrishnan, first to you, give us a sense of how the DMK is using the delimitation issue in some sense to portray a narrative which could put other political parties, the opposition parties like the AIADMK and even the Tamaraga Vetri Kazhagam, in a bit of a delicate situation in dealing with the issue and taking on the DMK.
Good evening and thanks for the opportunity, Veera. It's very clear that this is an issue which is very easily explainable to political parties and senior politicians. Nobody likes the idea in their particular state of a member of parliament losing X number of seats or Y number of seats, or the North gaining significant advantage. And this has resonance because, Veera, you would know that even Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab and Himachal stand to lose. So it is not just, I think it's a little misplaced when they say that North will gain, because the real North is not gaining, only the Hindi heartland is gaining. And the East and the actual North and the South are going to lose. So it's an extremely easy thing to have traction. It's an extremely easy issue to actually bring people together. Now, obviously, the ADMK cannot fight this. It has to be on Mr. Stalin's side, just as the DMK had to be on the ADMK side when the ADMK went to the Supreme Court on the Kaveri issue. So when we look at it, Stalin has played his cards extremely right. The invitation to chief ministers, the all-party meeting before that, making sure that every single political party, not just political parties represented either in the parliament or in the assembly, but every single political party, I believe about 58 political parties of the 63 political parties. I didn't have this number either. When some politician mentioned it, that's when I knew that there are 63 political parties in Tamil Nadu. 58 had attended the meeting and almost unanimous in their condemnation of this move, and the way that they had reacted actually gives Stalin the kind of courage to go forward and call the other chief ministers as well.
Right. Sumant Raman, in terms of electoral realities for the DMK, some would argue, in fact many would argue, that both the language issue and the delimitation issue fits into that theme of the Tamil identity under threat and the DMK as the power that can protect that identity. How do you see this actually playing out? Because a lot of this seems to be building up to the 2026 election campaign.
I think that they probably started that campaign a little too early. There's still another full year to go, unless they propose to call for a snap election or something. I'm not too sure that the momentum of these issues can be sustained till then. But what surprises me, and this is a complete surprise, is why the center does not actually step up. The BJP, which quote unquote is ideologically opposed to the DMK, or that's what it says. Why do they not step up and merely say there is no delimitation happening in 2026 because the census itself has not started? Nothing is going to happen before the election. So this is what I find very peculiar. On the national education policy, the center is not saying you are not legally obliged to accept it. Instead, they are saying that only if you do this, your country, your state will progress, and talking in that language, which to me, it does not add up at all. None of this actually makes sense. Why the BJP and the DMK are doing this at this point of time? The BJP knows well that this is the DMK's home turf in terms of what it wants to play on, and they are allowing that. In fact, quite deliberately, they are allowing that to happen. For the DMK, it's great news because it takes the attention of all the issues in the state. Even yesterday, there was an allegation of a 992 crore scam which has been laid by the Arapori Yakam. And every other day, there is some law and order issue, or there is some major embarrassment for the state government. So now all these are diverted. We focus entirely on language. We need to we focus on delimitation. But let's face it, delimitation in its present form is unacceptable to almost everybody in the southern part of the country. I don't think this is a party issue. Whether it is regional parties like the TRS or any of the other southern political parties, there is no question of accepting delimitation in its present form. AIADMK, all the parties are against it. So, and the point is, why is the center allowing the DMK? Why is the BJP, allowing the DMK to create this atmosphere and is not clarifying facts? That is the mystery here.
Right. You're raising an important question. R.K. Radhakrishnan, as Sumant points out, delimitation is actually allegations in the air at the moment, because there is no clarity on how the process and if and when the process will roll out. There are many who've argued that, first of all, there needs to be a census after 2026 for the process to even begin up. There are multiple viewpoints on it. Given that, how does the DMK, is this really going to be the DMK strategy to combat anti-incumbency and, remember, accusations of dynasty rule as well as corruption against the party? Or do you really believe that this could be the potent counter strategy for the DMK? Or, as Sumant points out, something that the party seems to have started too early?
No, I think it started fairly early because of the fact that this is not going to be the only strategy of the DMK, but then this needs to be the one of the strategies which actually fixes the party, the DMK, as the one which is opposed to the BJP and not Vijay's party or ADMK or any of the other political parties. So they're occupying this particular political space, and it makes eminent sense at this point of time to carry on with this campaign, because closer to the elections, we will have 100 other issues which is affecting Tamil Nadu. So basically what the DMK is doing is, it is looking at the north and saying, right now you have 226 members of parliament now out of the 543. How dare you? Have you done anything to this country, to your Hindi heartland states, which makes you capable of governing it? So they're actually turning the merit argument on its head and saying that, okay, if you're going to be this country, or rather the middle class loves the idea of merit. And now, if you're going to tell me that merit is everything, then look at this. We are the guys with merit, and these are the guys who are running the country.
Okay, you're making a point there. Sumant Raman, my final question to you, and just 30 seconds to this. Where do you think this leaves the AIADMK, the principal opposition party? Because there have been talks of either the AIADMK forging an alliance with TVK, and where does this more importantly leave the BJP in terms of the electoral arithmetic of Tamil Nadu?
I think there is a very, very strong suspicion in Tamil Nadu that the BJP is somehow wanting the DMK to win 2026 and is playing its cards in such a way that the DMK can exploit all these fissures, including to some extent those which damage the BJP itself. So I think that they are viewing 2026 as an opportunity to emerge as a significant opposition party, and they hope that the AIDMK will crumble after another defeat in 2026. So that is the card that they are playing. I don't think it will work, but that's the BJP high command. They and the DMK are basically on the same side, and this is as I've been saying it repeatedly. This entire thing about the language issue and delimitation are just a fixed match between these two sides.
Okay, you're making a much larger point, perhaps something more important. But thanks very much both to R.K. Radhakrishnan and Sumant Raman for joining the Southern View this evening.